The dangers of facial recognition technology are coming to light in a new lawsuit. A Detroit woman is suing the city and a police detective after she says she was wrongfully arrested because of the technology. All of this while she was 8 months pregnant. Portia Woodrow is her name, and she says officers accused her of robbery and carjacking. Police reportedly used surveillance video and facial recognition software to link Woodrow to the crime. The charges were later dismissed. Her lawsuit says she was arrested despite there never being a mention that the suspect was pregnant in the police report. Woodrow is the first woman known to be wrongfully accused of a crime using facial technology. Joining me now to break all of this down is trial attorney and legal analyst Misty Marris. Misty, let's talk about the pitfalls of facial recognition technology and why it's so dangerous.
The pitfalls of facial recognition technology have been articulated in many different ways. First, the ACLU has brought lawsuits saying that this type of technology violates privacy concerns, that it has a disparate impact on communities of color, and that there is always the possibility that it is not as reliable as it seems. So the general rule, and this is nationwide in most jurisdictions that use the technology, is that probable cause to arrest someone cannot be established based on facial recognition alone. It has to be looked at in accordance with other evidence in order to move forward with an arrest that is valid. So that's the argument that we're seeing here with this woman in Detroit. And by the way, just to note, there are 3 other cases that have been filed with similar circumstances against the Detroit Police Department specifically, many of these working their way through the court system. So as this new technology continues to be used in investigative phase, it's also going to face these legal challenges to help us understand how it can be better, more accurate, and less detrimental to the community.
And Mr., you would also assume that common sense would be used when you see a woman is pregnant and that wasn't mentioned in the report, that possibly that could weed her out of your possible list of suspects. How can this technology actually be helpful?
So what the technology is actually made for is when there is somebody who's a suspect, usually in a robbery, a home invasion, something to that extent, a burglary, that is caught on video when someone's entering or exiting that location. The visual technology can be used to identify a specific person as a suspect. And I say that it's very specific, as a suspect. It does not mean that there's actually the probable cause necessary to arrest that person. It just gives investigators a lead. That's the benefit. And then the investigation continues from there until the standard of probable cause is met. So to your point, this woman being pregnant, that's going to be a factor that will weigh heavily in her favor in the course of this lawsuit, because the department is going to have to establish that there were other reasons, despite the facial recognition technology, to actually move forward with the arrest. So it's a very complicated, fact-specific legal argument.
Now, Misty, according to the report, the prosecutor's office said the warrant that led to Woodrow's arrest was on solid ground. As an attorney, do you think Woodrow still has a case for her lawsuit?
Certainly. It's all going to be questions of fact for a jury to decide. So facts in her favor, as we spoke about, the fact that she was pregnant, that there was no mention of a pregnant woman in that police report. On the other side, reports indicate that she was identified, her photo, by the victim in a lineup. So all of those facts are going to be hashed out. And again, what the police need to establish is that there was probable cause for the arrest at the time. That's the defense you just stated. That doesn't mean that she's necessarily found guilty, just that the information that they had to get that warrant was valid at the time. So this is going to be an interesting one to watch, because it's going to help shape the law surrounding the use of this facial recognition technology, which, of course, you know, as we cover this all the time. The law takes a little bit of time to catch up to the tech. So the courts are now going to be shaping that law and when investigators can rely on it and how heavily they can weigh that when looking to arrest an individual and to go out and get that warrant.
Which, Misty, leads me to my last question for you before I run out of time. In about 30 seconds, as an attorney, what are your recommendations for agencies going forward who plan to use this facial recognition technology in any capacity?
It's a great question for state agencies like police departments. You have to make sure that there are regulations on the books about how to use this technology to ensure that that leap isn't made. The facial recognition technology is the end of the day. Technology is amazing. The innovation, it's so helpful, especially in law enforcement. We're always talking about the electronic footprint, but that doesn't mean that the human component of it and the review of that to ensure its accuracy and to ensure its viability, that still needs to exist. So get those regulations on the books and make sure everybody is trained appropriately at the agency in order to use this as a positive as opposed to something that seriously violates human rights.
Misty.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.